Welcome to another exciting episode on Insight with Dr. Foles. Today, I'll be discussing 5 simple steps in creating a catchy business name. Every new business asks the same question when starting. How do we come up with a catchy business name? A name that is unique, memorable, stand out, and resonate with people. Well, some might say it's nearly impossible. But in my branding experience for the past few years, creating a catchy business name or a brand name is possible by following these 5 simple steps I'll be discussing today. Are you ready to name your business? Let's get to it. Number 1 step to take in creating a catchy business name is define your brand. This is very important. Before you name your business, you need to understand who you are, what you're trying to achieve, what is your brand purpose, your brand mission, your core values. What feature do you want to create? What are you here to do? How do you create that feature? If you haven't defined your brand's foundation, I believe now is the right time. The second step to take is know your differentiators. To do this, look at the companies you admire or those in your categories. See what your competitors are named. This can act as an inspiration to be more creative than your competition. By looking at your competition, you get a better sense of how you can stand out through every aspect of your branding. Remember, you aren't just looking for a great name. You are looking for a great brand name for your business. Now that you've defined your brand, know your differentiators, it's time to get creative and name your business. And this will lead us to the third step, which is start brainstorming. When it comes to creating a catchy brand name for your business, we have different brand name categories to brainstorm. The first category to consider while brainstorming is using the founder's name. You can experiment with your name. We have some examples of companies using their founders' names, such as Smith & Smith. The second category to brainstorm is using a descriptive brand name. This is a brand name that describes what you do or what you make. A good example is General Motors. The third category to look into while brainstorming is fabricated or magic spell. This is using a totally made up name, such as Kodak, or 2 words together. A good example is Facebook or Trep Africa. The fourth category to consider while brainstorming is metaphor. This is using mythical foreign places, animal names such as Nike or Southwest. And the last category, which is the 5th one to consider while brainstorming, is acronym. These are names that use initials or abbreviations such as GE, that is General Electric, or HP. After brainstorming and coming up with 10 to 20 business names, the next step to take is vet your suggested brand names. Vet your suggested brand names. This is step number 4, and this is the most frustrating part. I don't mean to scare you anyway. I remember my first experience registering my company name like 2 times before it was successful. There's no point in testing or investing in a name that is already taken. So it is very crucial to vet your suggested brand name. And how do you go about this? Narrow your brainstorm list down to 10 names. Then go to the internet and search for registered names, trademarks, and URL for website availability. If some of the suggested brand names are not taken and somehow you found 5 unregistered names, narrow it down to your top 3 and get a legal team to fully vet it for you. Now that you've overcome the legal hurdle, the last step I'm going to be talking about is test your brand name. Test your brand name. This is the most exciting and creative part. How do you go about this? Hire a brand communication designer to create your brand identity, like logos, product packaging mockups, and website. Then test and compare your top 3 brand names to know which one resonates with your target market or audience. cooler. In summary, the first step is define your brand. The second step is know your differentiators. The third step is start brainstorming. And the fourth step to take is vet your suggested brand name. And the last step, which is the fifth step to take, is test your brand name. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and share this video within the network of entrepreneurs and professionals. Join me next week Friday on Trip Africa IGTV and YouTube channel for another exciting episode on Insight with Dr. Foz. And kindly subscribe to Trip Africa YouTube channel for more insight. Remember, life is not about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. In a world where you can be anything, be yourself.
Trip Africa. Imagine more.